Welcome back to When in the Wild. I almost said the Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One because I've been listening to some back catalog episode. That is not what this is. That is not what this is. This is
I subscribed to it, and I got through the first. I did the whole pre-thing and the first 5 episodes, and I forgot it existed.
What is that?
I dropped off too. Was episode 5.
What is this?
And it's really good too.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
What is this?
It's the Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One. It's Brendan Lee Mulligan, Erica Ishii, and
this isn't Worlds Beyond, right? This is different.
Oh, this is that new one. Yeah. Okay.
And Bria Iyengar.
Yeah.
Phenomenal together. And of course I'm forgetting who plays Jabari. His name escapes me.
Drop
out.
Literally was on the latest episode. Lou Wilson, yeah.
Oh, Bagel. Oh my God. You okay?
Bagel?
Bagel is okay.
Bagel, are you okay?
Head. She wants to get up in this chair with me. That was Bagel's head.
Bagel's trying to roll some dice.
Welcome back to Win in the Wild, everyone. Sean, if you would please read us a little recap.
Yes. Alright, session 16. Horace, the only escapee of the mission into the Grand Guard barracks, finds Pascal running towards him. Pascal's connection to Jeatz pulls Horace towards him, so he figured he can follow where the Grand Guard take Jeatz and Almyre. He stopped by Thistle's place, who told him they'd be taken to the Winter Court to stand trial. He directed Horace to Silverquill. He knows they'd be taken to the Winter Court, and Horace will need some cold protection. Silverquill, the local proprietor of magical goods, was somehow convinced by Horace to trade Pascal for some boots of cold protection. Pascal, of course, managed to escape with some wild magic and returned to Horace to guide him to the Winter Court. Jeatz and Almyre had a hard road to the Winter Court. They stopped at Frostville, the only place to safely leave the peninsula to get to the mountain of the Winter Court. There they found Faerun was part of the Baron Cloaks, the protectors of Exurbia, but whose members were made up of criminals. Jeatz was not obvious enough to Faerun that it was him, since he had changed since they parted ways. The next morning they were hoisted into their cage down the huge shaft above the Bay of Frostville and left with Admiral Chadley at the helm, who mentioned a mysterious summer court boy while departing. Horace, too mad, made his way to Frostville. There, he was met by Vixen, a tabaxi, who would take him along with Faerun to the Winter Court. We jump back in time for a bit to a trio of guards: Alan, Driz, and Muck. They decide to get a draft after their shift, posting up at the teardrop run by the Steve the Goblin. Muck shared his Salisbury steak and potatoes beer with Steve, which Steve loved. The beer connoisseurs spent some more time shooting the shit, but were suddenly ambushed by a cult crying that the ice worm will soon wake. They dealt with them quickly. Soon after the chaos, Bronto walked into the bar. He knows the cult of the ice worm is growing, and also there is a mystical figure known as the Wizard that's a threat to all the courts. Bronto believes the Wizard is making moves to have the Winter Court march against all the other courts. Bronto requested them to run a covert operation to drop a gem of seeing orb in the Wizard's home to protect Exurbia. Bronto agreed to take both Drizz's and Muck's beer to the outside world to grow their beer fame in return for their task. Muck's is better. Later, they cautiously approach the Wizard's house on the other side of the river. The door is surprisingly unlocked. Inside the room, they find a nearly naked Eladrin on the floor, who does not react to their presence, and secondly, a huge glowing arcane gash in the room. Suddenly, the Wizard appears, and he methodically eliminates the party. Powered word kill, disintegrate, and lastly, he used suggestion to force a line into the arcane gash. The end.
And that's where we are now. The end of the road for those 3 temporary characters. But what that does mean is we get to turn our attention back to I don't know. Do you guys have a name for yourselves?
Oh, we haven't named ourselves yet.
That's true. I was actually thinking about it over these 2 weeks, and I think I just didn't die.
You think you just didn't die?
It's interesting you say that because you definitely did.
No, I really was considering it, and I was thinking about it, and no, I think I'm still good. Thanks, though.
I actually put in my abilities that I'm immune to disintegrate and power word kill.
Yeah.
So I think we need to replay that again and go through it.
Well, as the only one who technically didn't die, fuck off.
Yeah, you're really minimizing Alon's experience here by saying that you didn't die, because Alon was technically the only one to survive. So you're kind of removing his ability to experience the trauma that is the lone survivor. So I kindly ask you to rethink your stance there, because you're being a little rude to your fellow.
Yeah.
We're also being deprived of our life and our beer. You know, it's going to explode once it gets to the, the other courts, and, we're just going to not be able to witness that at all. Or at least Mux is, I know for sure.
Okay. Alright, so let me...
Ruth, not too sure about that.
We got like 8 seconds left in this soundtrack. Okay.
We should... Our party name should be The Valley.
The
I
Valley? Like Valley?
don't understand, but okay.
Yeah.
Because
we should actually be called the Disruptors, I think.
I'm thinking The Valley, and that's a Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons joke. So you're welcome.
That is funny. We could also just be Equinox, since Equinox is dead.
Oh,
You do carry on the moniker.
This is true.
Or do we create something new?
I'll let you think about it. I'll let you think about it. Text me.
We'll think about it.
Okay. So with that, we're gonna cut back over to our main adventurers here, tentatively named Equinox, though I assume it'll stick. So, Almyre and Jeatz, your ship pulls into the cavernous entrance to the Winter Court. Waves lap on the rocks lining the tall canal. After a short time, you see the docks. Your arcane restraints very much uncomfortable at this point, but the spectacle of the court... What the fuck did I write? I said the spectacle of the court fills them for just a moment. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You're filled with the spectacle of the...
I get filled by spectacles all the time.
Anyway, the spectacle of the Winter Court, Ozzy, for just a moment. An entire city carved out of stone out of the heart of a nameless mountain. A large wall appears to protect the inner city from supposedly the only... Sorry, a large wall protects the inner city. It's supposedly the only entrance to the Winter Court. But you can't see past this inner city gate. But what lies beyond, just pique your interest a little bit. So as your ship pulls into port, it's relatively quick. It turns around and kind of does a little. It backs up to the dock, right around here, and a goblin captain who appears to be part of the city guard walks over to the ship as your crate is hoisted onto this levitating platform onto the docks. And this goblin captain walks over to you. She is looking a little raggedy. She's got some wrinkles on her face. You can tell that she's been doing this for a long time. And she says,
All right, my name's Captain Grangle, and I'll be your caretaker for now. Now, there's no need to keep you in your cage, but if you run, you won't get too far.
And she whistles for a few more guards, and begrudgingly the Grand Guard tosses over a key to your cage. Captain Grangle unlocks it and invites you out onto the docks.
Are we still magically restrained from speaking?
You weren't magically restrained from speaking. You were just highly encouraged with pain. Highly discouraged from speaking with pain. Anytime you speak, the Grand Guard would whip you with the I thought they like cut off our magic and whatnot. Well, you couldn't like do anything magical at all. Doesn't mean you couldn't use your vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
So here, I'll drag your tokens onto the dock here. Jeatz, there you go.
Is that still? Are we still under the effect of that?
Yeah, so you do still have your arcane restraints on. You're just no longer in the cage.
Okay, gotcha.
So she brings over a few guards.
Oh, they're so ugly. I'm like...
and she says,
Well, I'll be your caretaker now. Why don't we go to the barracks?
and she instructs her guards to put spears behind your back to forcibly march you through the city gate here. And all of a sudden, as you're passing through this city gate, you feel rumbling in the rocks. Both of you guys give me a strength saving throw with disadvantage. You're still weak from having come out of the cage.
Oh, I'm already bad at it. You didn't need to put disadvantage.
Strength saving throw? Boy, okay.
That's a 6 for Almyre.
Ooh, definitely a fail.
I have to figure out what I'm... I got a nat 1. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nat 1. Brilliant. So you both fall over, and she's like,
Oh, well, it's okay. Just don't mind the rumbles. It's, it happens occasionally. Don't mind it. But I can tell you're still weak for being in the cage. Well, let's go on.
And she whistles again, and the spears stab you in the back on your way to the barracks over here. Instructs you to go over to the right, and what you see in front of you is quite the sight. As you pass through the city gate, it's like an entire city has been carved out of the mountain, because it quite literally has. It almost looks like kind of a mile off in the distance is like the far back wall, but it's like hundreds of feet tall. This lichen that's glowing above kind of gives this like weird mid-afternoon like sunset / sunrise kind of glow over the place. But you can't get a good look before Captain Gringle whacks you on the head and says,
No looking. Head down.
and as she moves you over to the barracks, you can tell it's like this huge fortress surrounded by this thick stone wall, and she leads you inside. Alright. Let's see. So she leads you across the barracks. I'm gonna change scenes here. She and her two guards lead you across the barracks yard. That's the right word for it. A yard. What I'm looking for tokens. Jeatz. This massive yard. You can see there's a few people out right now. You're not even really sure what time of day it is at this point, but there's a few people training in the yard, but Captain Grangle and her guard move you into this underground area and throw you into this cage here. And Captain Grangle closes the door, locks it, and she says,
Don't get too comfortable. I'll be back soon to collect you for your trial. A trial in front of the three? That should be exciting to watch.
and as she leaves, she says,
Well, I guess I can't leave you without that little bit of supervision.
and puts the two guards that were poking you with sticks outside your door, and you can see Captain Gringle walks away.
Are they actively looking at me, or are they just chilling?
They stare at you for a minute just to make sure that you're not getting up to anything too untoward. You see this one moves over here, and let me... one of them moves over to the right side of the door, and the other one is kind of just like looking up and down, kind of checking things out across the rest of the room, seemingly uninterested.
Would I be able to whisper soft enough to Jeatz that they wouldn't be able to hear me?
Go ahead and give me a perception check to try and suss out your surroundings to see if that's doable.
That's a 9.
A 9, okay. So with a 9, there is a bit of a water trickle. You can kind of tell it's coming from the grate that's in the center of the room, and if you whisper softly enough, you think that you could probably get away with speaking to your cellmate here.
Jeatz, do you think it would be
You don't actually have to
beneficial?
whisper that quietly in real life.
I know. I was trying to convey it for our listeners at home.
It's more
I
immersive.
can barely hear you as the problem.
Okay, never mind. Sorry. Jeatz, do you think it would be beneficial at all if I were to try to play the royalty card, or do we think that they are so hell-bent on kind of giving the middle finger to all the other courts that would make our situation worse?
I don't. I whisper back and say, I don't. At this point, I don't know if it can hurt us. Can I? Yeah. Let me try something first before you put that out there.
Okay.
Can I try to throw my voice as if it is coming from, like, where we walked in?
So throwing your voice is not a thing. You can try. How do we play this? So number one, go ahead and give me a perception check to examine the room. If you pass the perception check, I will let you attempt to throw your voice. If you can find the right acoustic.
A 7.
Okay, a 7.
That passes, right?
It's a square room. The odds of you being able to throw your voice into one corner and it sound like it coming from someplace else is just not going to work.
Can I do... also, what's our health look like right now? Like, if we had
you guys
effectively
got a long
long rests?
Yes,
Okay.
Everyone is effectively long rested if your character sheets are not reflecting that.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Can't use magic.
Caleb, can I invoke your wild magic surge at the moment? I just want to make
no.
Okay.
Because we had a long rest. No.
Okay. I didn't know if you're Tides of Chaos.
Do you want to? Because I'm fine with it.
I just wanted to know if it was an option, and it sounds like it's not. So no.
Okay. Can I just start talking? Can I do like a check to see how smart these goblins seem?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Okay. Jeatz is making his home on top of my Christmas wrapping paper. Insight. Where's my dice? Hello? Oh boy. 16?
For the 16, just because they're goblins, you gotta challenge your assumptions, man. They look pretty intelligent. They're city
Well,
guards.
I didn't assume they were stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they look pretty intelligent. Like, the guard that's over here is, like, doing his rounds, you know, making sure he's doing a good job of, like, inspecting if anything is untoward's going on. He, like, kind of stops by your cage occasionally. Or, sorry, your cell, not your cage. Goes over here to inspect the cage that's over in the corner of the room. Doing regular rounds.
Okay, how...
There's a cage in the corner of the room. I don't know how I failed to mention that, considering your perception check
Yeah.
sucks.
The goblin is still looking at us. One of them is looking at us, right?
Oh yeah, the one by the door. He's leaning up against the wall and, like, keeping an eye on you guys. Like, if he's not looking at you, he's got a side eye at you.
Mechanical question. Do the cuffs prevent all magic from happening, or is it just like when you cast a spell, it fails?
It's all magic. Imagine it like an ongoing 9th level dispel magic. That just reacts anytime you try and do anything magical.
Let me ask you a better question. If I tried to cast a spell, does any magic appear and then disappear, or is it just straight up like I cannot use magic, like I cannot summon magic within myself to try to cast a spell?
The spell fizzles, so it'll still consume a spell slot, but it doesn't successfully.
Perfect. That's what I needed to know. Oh no. Well, okay. I guess that would still apply. Wild magic surges would also fizzle then, wouldn't they? Because I can cast first level spells. To get a surge. Yeah. I absolutely was.
So while you strategize, if you don't mind, we'll cut over to Horace. So we'll go back to we'll roll into core map here. Give me a moment to move the tokens to the correct places. What might you and you, and we'll keep Captain Gringle right there. All right, Horace. The journey on this small ship with only Vixen and Tharoon over the course of the last 3 days has been a little stressful. You remember Vixen saying just before you left, "Maybe you have your sea legs. Small ship, big problems." Now, you managed to make it to the Winter Court without too much incident, but just fearing that something bad would happen at any moment had you stressed. Tharoon and Vixen always had their head on a swivel for the horrors, as they call them, that lay in the bay between Frostfell and the entrance to the Winter Court. But we were able to navigate the ice floes pretty quickly. With such a small ship, it's easy to get around the icebergs and just like the floating chunks of ice so that they don't crush your ship. But at this point, you're pulling into the Winter Court. And let's see, where are okay, no, there's Vixen and so Vixen and Tharoon pull into the docks on this small ship, and you see Vixen look over to one of the larger ships at the dock, and you hear her say, "Mr. Bullface is still here. I might pay him a little visit." While Vixen's getting the ship all docked up and kind of putting things together, Tharoon hops up onto the dock and then offers you a hand to pull you up as well.
Yes, thank you. And I know who Tharoon. I wouldn't, I guess, know what he looks like, but I know I guess we're looking for someone named Tharoon, or else we all know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be lenient because honestly I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that.
I think we talked about going to rescue Tharoon, but I guess I wouldn't know that's him, unless he entered. Unless we probably talked. He probably introduced himself.
No, Vixen said that Tharoon would be a.
Oh yeah.
On your trip. So Tharoon says, I'll show you around. Are you looking for anything in particular on your travel here to the Winter Court?
Not in particular. I mostly just I guess right now just a place to stay and a place to drink.
Well, I can show you a place to drink. In fact, there's a little bar called the Teardrop over in the hovel. I can take you there if you'd like.
Oh yes, I could use a few drinks after that. I guess a rough travel.
that went smoothly by my estimation. Vixen, watch over the ship, won't you? I need to show our guest around. And you see Vixen looks down, mumbling to herself as she's like tying off a few ropes, and she says, "Tharoon, always the happy-go-lucky guy, always trying to show people around, be the real guest. He'll learn soon enough." You hear her mumbling to herself, and Tharoon says, "Don't listen to anything she says. She's something else." That's all I'll say. Bye, Vixen.
She does seem like she doesn't have a lot of fun.
Oh, you got that right. So Tharoon leads you along to the docks, and he passes through the city gate without issue. There's not like guards posted up here at this point. You passed a few guards on the docks, and seeing that you're with the Baron Cloak, they didn't really pay you too much attention. And he goes over here. He turns a left at the entrance to the city gate, and as you turn to the left, you feel Pascal squirm. Where are you keeping Pascal at the moment? Is he like inside your cloak or what?
Probably in my cloak. I have like a cloak with like a hood, and so he's probably like, with it down, he's probably like in the ruffles of like the hood.
Yeah, so you feel Pascal squirm on your shoulders a little bit, and you can feel him like grab your cloak and try and pull you back in the opposite direction. And as you turn your head, you can see this immense stone building that appears like a guard barracks. There's guards posted on top, kind of keeping watch. Definitely a place of military power.
Put my hand on where he is. Look, we can't rush into this now. We've been to the barracks before on and quite quickly without a plan, and it kind of got us into the situation. So let's take some time and get an idea of kind of where we are.
Okay, so with that,
we'll get them back.
Pascal calms down a little bit on your shoulder, and Tharoon continues across the city square. As you enter this, it's kind of like a basin. There's just like a huge bowl of rock surrounding it, and you can see doors, which you assume are houses cut into the stone. There's a few stairwells leading down into what you would assume to be places where goblins live. There's a few built-up buildings, which you assume would be for more, tall folk, as the dwarves and goblins would call them. But you see a few dwarves, mostly goblins, running around. You spot a few Eladrin. But Tharoon takes you through the city square. People give you weird looks. They don't typically see humans around here, but no one untoward approaches you at this moment. But Tharoon takes you over in this direction and says, welcome to the Teardrop. It's kind of a hole in the wall, but if you know it, it's quite good. I'll buy you a drink for being such a good sailor. How about that?
Thank you. I just kind of hope I can fit into this place.
Yes, it's quite a tight fit. You see Thurin has to like duck a little bit to get in. How tall are you, Horace?
I imagined I was like probably 6 foot. I don't know if I have an exact height, but I'm 6 foot.
I don't know if you've got a height on your character sheet. Yeah, so you've got to duck a little bit to get in. The stools in here are a little small for you. But you manage. There's a couple of goblins in here, and the bartender inside says,
Oh, my name's Steve. Welcome to the Teardrop. What can I get you?
Steve, quite the human name. I appreciate it.
My mother named me. I can't help it.
Well, Steve, I'm hungry and quite thirsty, so the best food and drink you got, I'll take.
Well, lucky for you, kid. I got a little 2-for-1. How do you like Salisbury steak?
And he pours out a little sample draft for you and puts it on.
Listen, I just got this in, alright? I got it on draft. You gotta try it, I swear.
Nice. Salisbury steak
So you
beer?
just gotta try it. Don't judge it first. You just gotta try it.
I've heard of like dessert beers before. Tastes like chocolate and peanut
But
butter. This is
dinner beer.
I'll take a sip. Do we have to roll for how much I like it?
Damn. Yeah, just roll me a straight luck check to see if it aligns with Horace's. We'll say 20 good, 1 bad.
Come on, made the connection.
Yeah, the
Between-
inter-character connection.
12.
A 12. It's an alright beer. You drink it.
Is Drizzle's beer there?
Listen, if you don't like that, I got this other beer. It's also local. We try and keep it local here. He was a friend of mine. But if you'd like to try that, you could, give it a shot.
He pours another sample draft for you. Puts it down in front of you.
Does anybody remember
Honestly-
what I called it?
Caleb, no, I don't remember because I
It was something. It was like it was something brew.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Sorry.
Was that just Drizzle's brew?
Drizz brew.
Yeah, Drizzle. Yeah.
Drizzles. What a terrible name. Like, God, I'm almost full from the Salisbury steak beer, but I guess I'll try it.
Yeah.
Please don't like it more than mine. Ha! A 3.
A 3. It's kind of nasty. It tastes a little bit like piss.
When he's not looking, I'll kind of like go under the bar or under the table and kind of just spit it down the ground. It's just not bad. Great beer here all around. But I'll take if you have another kind of the Salisbury steak one, I'll take another of these.
Oh yeah, we just got some on draft. A friend of mine, Bronto, brought it by from his parents' house.
God, I can do this voice for exactly 30 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Wait.
Sean, I don't know if you.
What'd you just say?
A friend of mine, Bronto, big tall rabbit folk. I don't know how long he's been here, but you'll probably seen him around. He brought a keg by.
No. Where does Bronto stay?
Oh, I don't know. He probably stays across the street at the Stone's Throw Inn. He was supposed to come by later today, actually, to bring me another cake.
Well, I hope he's not gone. It happens. I know somebody. I just didn't expect that to find someone here.
Oh wait, you know Bronto?
We have not the best of history, but I know him. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he doesn't stop by the time you leave, I'll tell him you stopped by and where you staying tonight. I hear the Stone's Ruin's a pretty good place.
Oh no, the rune is at a.
The rune pipes up and he's like, "Oh yes, of course. It's the finest inn for outsiders like yourself. They're quite amenable to people of all shapes and sizes. There, there's a couple of unsavory places you could find yourself that are not so kind to non-goblin folk or non-dwarves. But yes, Stone's Throw is quite the place."
Yeah, My good friend Muck. His mom runs the place. She's been a little distraught lately since his disappearance, but I think she's handling it well. Bronto's been a big help trying to find him.
Is that recent? As I usually find myself in places where I can, offer some help.
Oh, it's been about 2 weeks or so. It was kind of weird he hadn't popped up, but stranger things have happened here.
So that sets the time frame that based when you guys were doing your level 3 playthrough versus now. It's been 2 weeks since your level 3 characters have perished and when you guys arrived at the Winter Court.
You mean since our level 3 characters survived and went on to do bigger and better?
Text me. All right, so Horace, I'll let you marinate on that for a minute, having heard the name Bronto and that he might be here, and an old name. I'll let you kind of figure out, how you might feel towards Bronto, given the events that transpired at the start of the campaign. So we'll cut back over to Jeatz and Almyre in your little prison cell here.
I, still under my breath, kind of say, Myra, I need you to block. I need to walk behind you. And I need you to block. I need to block vision for a second. I have an idea.
I make myself as big as possible without garnering attention.
And I am going to walk behind Almyre, and as I do so, shape change into a gnome and slip out of my shackles.
Interesting that you assume that you can just slip out of your shackles.
I'm going into becoming a smaller creature.
Right, but in a world where the One Ring is totally possible, why wouldn't your shackles fit your body size?
Shrink as you.
Obviously, polymorph is a thing. So, why
can I do a sleight of hand? Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to cast polymorph with them on.
Yeah, but if someone else casts polymorph on you, obviously the shackles would need to find a way to stay on, dude.
That's fair. Can I try a sleight of hand check as I get smaller?
The DC's 30, but you can certainly try.
Alright, I'll do it.
It's more about being quicker than the shackles can respond to your change in body type, we'll say.
Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and say I'm using Tides of Chaos to make it and give it me myself advantage. And giving Avery his... Huh?
I said the DC 30. I don't know if you can beat it, but that's the DC.
Can a nat 20
get 30?
Would a nat 20 do it, or would you just say that nat 20 doesn't count as situation?
This is not Dungeons and Dragons 1, okay? Or 1 D&D, whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, Donald Trump hand playing.
I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Okay, well then I can't beat it if that doesn't count that way.
I mean, you asked. You might as well try.
Alright, that's fine. Does a 16 beat?
No, and in fact, as you do that, Captain Grangle walks back in, and all of a sudden sees you.
Oh no!
And she's like,
"Yeah,
what the fuck? Thunderbane didn't tell me about this. What the heck?"
I don't change back. I just leave it. I just stay that way.
You're just like.
Actually, can I start acting really? Can I start acting really confused as to how I got here?
Sure, yeah. You start. What the fuck do you say?
I'd start being like, "What? Where am I? How did I get here?"
What the fuck? I don't get fucking paid enough for that.
Who the fuck is this? Who? What just
Listen,
happened?
I have been given
Where'd
a
my friend go?
99.9% guarantee that these shackles are gonna stop any tomfoolery that you two could have been put up to. I've been gone for 30 minutes! 30 minutes. And already some tomfoolery's happening. God damn it, I hate fucking Thunderbane. Jesus.
I think I just like going, please, I have no idea where I am.
Who?
5 minutes ago, I was sitting in my house eating dinner. And now I'm just here.
Who is this person? This is not my friend.
Okay, both of you give me a deception.
Please,
sure
dear
it's not a
Lord.
performance check?
Please.
Woo!
No, deception, not performance deception.
Okay. Oh.
Woo!
Let's hope I get advantage, because this 2 ain't doing it.
Oh, I got a 14.
Give me a second.
I give him my inspiration.
And you have advantage. I get advantage, so I get to do it one more time. Does a 13 do anything?
Ooh, we're close. I don't think we're gonna get it though.
You're playing with fire. You go around claiming you were just eating dinner 5 minutes ago. And Almyre, you might be a little more convincing that you don't know who this guy is, but Captain Grangle says, I can't afford to believe you. I have to take you before the council in the Senate. I'm sorry. Even if you don't think you deserve it, Lady Aerlis should be able to suss out if you're guilty or not. She's not gonna kill you on sight, okay? If that makes you feel any better.
I just keep begging.
There will be justice served.
I keep begging. I'm like, please, my family. I have a family.
I got a family too. But look, if you're not supposed to be here, we'll figure it out, okay? I put my full trust in Lady Aerlis, and we'll get it sorted out. Just please don't try anything.
I like back up from Almyre. I back up from Almyre. Like, get the fuck away from me. Who are you? Where am I?
Who? Would I know who Lady Aerlis is?
Yes. So Lady Aerlis is the center seat of the Winter Court. So you know, Almyre, from your studies, that the Winter Court is kind of a democracy. It's run by a council, where it's not one person in charge, it's 3 people. But the center seat is kind of like the de facto ruler, because they would have 2 votes over the single vote of the left and the right seat. But Lady Aerlis, at least, you know, in this current day and age, is the center seat. Okay, with that political interesting tidbit out of the way, Captain Grangle unlocks the door and says, all right, come out. I'm sorry, but I have to take you to see Lady Aerlis for your trial. It's now, it's in a few minutes, but I gotta take you both. Shackles
I
on.
just keep pleading. I'm just like, please, I don't know where I am. Please, I don't know what's going on.
You see Captain Grangle starts to get a little annoyed. The guards walk in. They've got their spears drawn, and they kind of like get behind you, and they push you out the front. Listen, gnome fella, I promise you're not gonna die on the spot. Just please cooperate. If you continue to complain, we might have to get violent for disrupting the peace.
Okay. I start like withdraw into myself and just like kind of cry to myself and go, okay, I understand. And then like I start mumbling under my breath.
But it's not so loud. Okay, I can deal with the whimpering. Okay, let's go. So Captain Grangle leads the 2 of you with these 2 guards out across the bridge. So as you go back to the Winter Court, you guys are moving up here across the bridge. Make your tokens. You guys are moving towards the Senate with Captain Grangle. And as you walk across the bridge, you see that Captain Thunderbane, rather, appears to have been waiting for you on the other side of the bridge. And as you cross, he is leaning up against a rock over here, and he says, well, it's about time. Jesus Christ, Grangle, did it really take you that long to wrangle these two? And you see Thunderbane does a double take. Wait a second, what the fuck is this?
I'm still like crying and pleading under my like I'm not giving up the act.
Thunderbane does a double take, and he's like, wait a second, Grangle, who is this?
Can I try to
Grangle
convince
says,
Thunderbane?
A gnome appeared in the cell. There was this other dude in there,
But now there was a gnome, and Thunderbane's like, gods above. Yeah, give me a deception check with disadvantage.
So I just regular. I roll it flat.
Can I also do that as to...
Actor gives me advantage on deception.
When
I'm trying to pass myself off as someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll flat.
That's a
Almyre,
24.
No, he's you, so he knows that anything that you could say would be fine. Okay. Thunderbane, so while you have technically beat his insight, does not mean that you have convinced him necessarily, because he knows that you're a changeling. So you've beat him, so he's wary, but you haven't necessarily passed yourself off as him.
Yeah, I just start like pleading with him, like not aggressively, just be like, please, sir, please, sir, I don't know what's going on.
Christ. Thunderbane smacks you across the face. He rolled in that one. Jesus Christ.
We can't.
It doesn't hit me. It's like he was trying to hit Jeatz, but I'm shorter than Jeatz, so.
Yeah, he just like swings a backhand down on you, and he misses entirely, and he unbalances himself a little bit because he was expecting to make contact. He's like, oh fuck, Jesus.
And I think I recoil, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Get these two in front of the Senate. They need to face justice now.
And you see,
I think I like.
ahead of you.
I think I yell out like, please find Sarah.
You hear Grangle under her breath like,
Oh God, I hope he's not who he says he is. Jesus Christ, this would be terrible. I'm gonna have my head cut off. I'm gonna work in the mines or something.
I think under my breath, I just start naming like the same names, 5 names. Just be like, Christy, Sarah, Tommy. Like I don't know, just like under my breath, like they're my kids. Like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yo, perfect. Okay, so you guys are being marched off to the Senate. As you make your way there, you can see the mines. It looks like there's a lot of activity going on there. But with that, maybe I'll describe that in a minute. We'll cut back over to Horace in the teardrop. I haven't heard the name Bronto. So Horace, you've been here for a minute. Thurun's paid for your drinks. And you hear Thurun say, so, do you want to head over to the Stones Thurun? Do you want to wait for Bronto? What would you like to do, Horace? I'm just here to be a bit of a tour guide. We've got to leave quite soon to get back before the ice gets any worse out there in the bay. But I'm here for you, at least in this moment.
I guess I would wait until the Bronto gets here. If he come by, I feel like he would.
Right, and with that, you hear the door ring, as if there's a bell on it, and you see none other than a quite aged, at least from your youth, Bronto walk in. And he walks over and he greets Steve at the bar. He's got a keg over his shoulder. He kind of dips in the door and reaches over and sets the keg. Is there a second Horace token?
I'm deleting it. It was over in the corner.
And sets the keg down behind the bar, and you see Bronto start talking to Steve. Steve, here you go. He's this cake.
I would like
the cake you
to.
asked for. You can interrupt me if you want to interrupt Bronto.
Well, I would like to, while he's talking to him, get up and take my sword out. And while he's talking, I will like kind of slowly put it on his shoulder to where you can kind of, I guess, see the blade in his peripheral vision.
Okay, so yeah, Bronto, he's kind of leaned over the bar. It's short, right? It's mostly for goblins and dwarves. He's leaned over the bar, and he's talking to Steve, talking about this new keg. He's got to leave soon. But as you put the sword on his shoulder, you see him look over and see the glint of candlelight in it. And
Well, Bronto.
breathes.
I think it's time we had a rematch.
Bronto turns around really quickly. Give me opposed sleight of hand checks. Bronto's gonna pull out a dagger to try and disarm you.
Well, but
I don't know if I
12.
Look at a 14. Bronto, quick as a flash, pulls out a dagger and puts, just barely misses nicking himself. Gets the dagger between your sword and his throat. It flicks it in such a way that he, dispositions you. He doesn't necessarily kick it out of your hands because he didn't beat you by that much. But he turns around quickly, pushes you up against the wall and has a dagger against your throat. And very suddenly you see the realization in his eyes that it's you, and he drops the dagger and steps back a few paces.
Well, you look so rough, I thought I'd let you get one on me.
You're the one that's looking old, mate. And Bronto just kind of stands there awkwardly because the last time, the worst memory that you have of him is him betraying you when you were in the Petal Guard. So Bronto's kind of sheepish because he doesn't know, what kind of things that you've been harboring against him.
And I guess I really don't know his involvement.
So you
Would I?
equally as sheepishly. Well, you don't really know what's been going on. So you standing there awkwardly across from one another. He speaks first and he says, Horace, it's been a long time, and I think the first thing that I have to say to you is I'm sorry. And he moves in and holds his hand out for a handshake.
I'll shake his hand.
You grab
Like
his
it's-
hand and he pulls you in for a hug.
I appreciate it. It's been hard to live without any information or really anything.
He pulls you in and he kind of whispers into your ear and he says, I owe you an explanation on what happened the night that Leander died. But now's not the time. There are a few more pressing matters at hand.
Are you leaving just now?
Bronto lets you go. He looks over at Steve and over at Tharun, looks back to Steve and says, Steve, do you know this fellow, the one in the Baron Cloak garb? Steve says,
I've seen her around.
Bronto looks to Tharun. Are you trustworthy? Tharun's like, well, I suppose I'm trustworthy. All right,
Well,
if you left the room for a bit. I understand your goal is to protect the realm, but the things that I'm about to say might paint me as a public enemy, so I'd rather if you went around.
Well, I guess. Oh, I don't know. Rune, I kind of know you.
Oh,
In a way.
Yes, I also kind of know you. It kind of feels like I've stumbled into something maybe awkward. if it's best, I think I'll just see myself out. I'm gonna go over to the inn. How about that? You see Thur just kind of like awkwardly get up, and he's like, "Oh, Steve, if I could have just one more Salisbury steak, God, that'd be great. Thanks." And just like an awkward 30 seconds goes by, Steve pours another draft. Thanks. I'll bring the glass back. And you see he like grabs Steve's hand and transfers him some favor, and then just like kind of awkwardly shuffles out of the bar. You two have a fun time reminiscing. Goodbye. And just like walks away. Steve, I guess you could be privy to this conversation, maybe? I mean, you've heard some conspiracies floating around, so, you know, maybe chime in.
You have.
But,
I guess if you trust Steve, then yeah.
I trust Steve with my life. God, where's the time gone, Horace? It's been, what, 30 years, maybe?
I've lost track at this point. Both of us are quite old, I'd say.
Yeah. Bronto looks old, you know. He's got white fur, but you can tell it's starting to like turn gray with age. He's got wrinkles under his eyes. His ears are not as I wanted to say erect, but that feels wrong.
Pointy.
Are not as maybe firm.
They're not as rock hard as
Firm?
they used to be in the day.
You can't follow erect with firm, Avery.
Yeah, it's got to
They're a
get
little,
that.
You know, they sag a little bit. All very normal terms that people use to refer to them.
Do you need something for that?
And he sits you down at, you know, the one big person table. In the corner of the teardrop, and he sits you down and he says, "Oh, I owe you an explanation about what happened to Leander, but for now we've got more pressing matters at hand in the Winter Court. There's a wizard. Jesus Christ. Sorry, gods above. I don't even know what you know about the Winter Court. I assume you know quite a bit, but maybe you'll start from square one." So, Bronto goes into an exposition about how, you know, the Winter Court is led by the Senate, which is, you know, these three people that lead the court. And at the moment, the center seat is Lady Airless, but she is followed around constantly by the one that he calls the Wizard. He doesn't have a name necessarily, but he calls them the Wizard. And he has it on good authority that the Wizard is going to march against the other court soon, launching an invasion from the Winter Court to assault first the Autumn Court, and then it will spread from there. So Bronto goes on. So basically what that means, if we want to protect the Spring Court, if that's still your interest, or even Exurbia as a whole, we have to stop the Wizard here now before it gets any worse. And then as he says that, an earthquake happens. The whole cavern that you're in shudders, and your drinks spill a little bit, and Bronto says, and there's also the problem of the Ice Worm. There's a cult that's growing within the Winter Court. They oppose the rule.
First, there's a wizard that's gonna disrupt Exurbia, and then there's an ice worm beneath us causing these earthquakes. Which which problem are you wanting to tackle first?
That's the thing.
Because I also have an issue that you might be able to help with as well.
Oh fuck. Well, here's my plan. I propose that we sway the Iceworm cult to help take down the wizard. I don't know what it might take them to placate the Iceworm, assuming that it's even waking up. Given the more frequent earthquakes over the last 2 weeks, I'd say that the Iceworm is about to wake from its slumber. Maybe we ally ourselves with them, and then...
is their cult against the court? What's...
Yes, the Iceworm is, at least in their estimation, from what I understand, is the true ruler of the Winter Court, and the Senate is blasphemy. To have anything other than the Iceworm have total control over the Winter Court is an abomination.
That'd probably it'd definitely make our position much stronger and easier to have at least a distraction if they cause some chaos up here.
The problem with that is, if we do give the power over to the Iceworm, many will die. So it's a real trolley problem. Do we put the lives of the people in the Winter Court on the line to save Exurbia? Will we even save
What's a
Exurbia if
trolley?
we kill the wizard? I don't know. I've been wrestling.
Does the Iceworm just hate the court, or does he kind of hate everybody living here, thinking they've, I guess, maybe imprisoned him or banished him?
That's all I know. The court maybe could tell us more about why the Iceworm has been sleeping the past age.
Well, I guess I'm not sure what an alternative would be. We do. Well, let me tell you my problem here. Then you may be able to help with that, which also may be able to help with this the items that you brought up. I have two friends who are they're being held by the guard, and I need your help to get them, or at least find a way to free them.
Do you?
And I know in turn that they would help.
So they could be allies to investigating the cult. Very interesting. They're here now.
And we could potentially have. Yes, I believe the Grand God is holding
Where
them.
on the street there's a trial at the Senate very soon, and those are open to the public. Assuming you'll be let in. It's open to the public insofar as the guards will let you in, but I could maybe grease the palms of a few guards. Maybe we could watch at least from afar. Maybe it's your friends that are being put on trial.
I think that's we should at least go see if they are.
Where's that friend of yours? He's part of the Baron Cloak. The gods will listen to him. He's a neutral party.
Yes, I did also want to bring him up because one of the members that we're freeing knows Faerun. And they have some history. I'm not sure what their history is. I know they know each other. They seem we were here to rescue him, so I assume they are friends. But the issue is he doesn't really know who I am. I just know him through by name. That's all. So
This isn't like a
we
weird
can either see if he'll help us.
purely Plato.
It may be. Jeatz has some bad luck with love during this, so it's possible he's just trying to find someone. I don't know.
I think it's worth it. Well, tell you
So
what,
either I guess we tell Faerun what the plan is, and maybe see if I can tell him who I know and that we're trying to free them, or we keep it secret and just ask him to take us to the.
I think we tell Tharoon that we'd like to see the trial today. Give you the real. These trials happen all the time. It's normal. So if we tell Tharoon that, my friend Horace here wants to see a trial in the Winter Court. I think he'll be able to get us in under no other pretense, and perhaps we can see if it's your other friends that you've been traveling with.
I think so. And then, I guess we're there. Maybe we can get maybe an idea of how he feels about the Winter Court in general to see if he's, so aligned that we can't persuade him to turn.
All right, so you guys go grab Bronto from the stone's throw in. Tharoon, sorry, I'm just cutting for time here. Tharoon is amenable to having you all, taking you to the Senate for the trial. Oh yes, of course. Seeing a Senate trial is quite the thing. It's all formal, and the counselors argue with one another. It's quite a sight to behold. And then when the punishments passed down. Well, occasionally we get them in the Baron Cloak, but usually they go work the mines. Maybe they're beheaded. Sometimes they're tortured. We'll see.
Well, I hope there's a beheading today.
That's a weird thing to wish for. Okay. So Tharoon takes you up over the bridge. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Tharoon's going to show you around the parts of town. So as you're crossing over the bridge, Tharoon just kind of stops for a second. He's like, "Well, while we're going towards the Senate, I might as well show you one of the beauties of the court. You see that waterfall up there, and you can see there's a massive amount of water that's kind of feeding this river that this bridge goes over. That ice cold water feeds this underground river. Who knows what kind of channels are upstream and what channels are downstream? But it's said that there's secret passageways in and out of the Winter Court, namely carved by this here waterway. So, if you ever need a quick escape, you might find yourself in some chilly water. Not like chili dogs, but just cold water. Okay.
Thank you, Larry. You make a great tour guide.
All right. With that said, Horace and Tharoon and Bronto, you find your way to the entrance to the Senate, which is this stronghold, this fortress-looking area, where there are a few guards positioned outside. You see Tharoon says, "Wait here for just a second. I'll go talk to the guards." And the guards speak to him for a moment. And Tharoon comes back and he says, "It appears that this trial, strangely, is closed to the public today, citing homeland security risks."
Is there any way we could witness it? I would like to witness at least one Winter Court trial in my life.
Tharoon looks over at Bronto and then over to you, Horace. And he says, "Now, as a member of the Baron Cloak, I am sworn to protect the realms of Exurbia, but Bronto, if you would look away, perhaps I can help Horace out as a friend here." And you see Bronto, he's like a little questioning, but, well, alright, if, you say Horace, just report back, I guess, on whatever happens. And Tharoon brings you behind a rock, Horace, and he casts invisibility on you.
Oh.
I want to run over and kick Bronto in the nuts real quick, and then run back to Tharoon.
That is an attack roll, so you would come out of invisibility for that.
Oh, damn it. Alright, no mind. Damn.
Kicking his nuts
Bronto,
out of invisibility.
Bronto,
If
like,
you were to
feels
fondle
a
them,
brisk-
though, I think you're...
It feels a brisk wind, between
I just whisper, I can kill you with
Are you
it.
sure it's not just an object interaction? Just kidding.
I'll just whisper, I can kill you at any moment.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then run back.
I thought we were okay now. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Okay, so Horace, you've been turned invisible, and you can easily sneak. I mean, the doors to the Senate are wide open, and we will come back over to Jeatz and Almyre. So Jeatz and Almyre, you have been led into the Senate. Thunderbane is standing a little behind you, but you have been forced on your knees by the guards, or well, at the moment you're being forced on your knees by the goblin guards. So they're here, and where are you guys? Here is Jeatz. Here is Almyre. Captain is also here, and then Horace, since you're invisible, I'll grab your token.
I'm still just muttering under my breath. Listen, Caldy. Just trying to, as best as possible, plead for my life without talking to anyone.
Alright. guys hear that?
Yep.
Mhm.
So you're being forced on your knees. You're being forced on the knees by these two guards. Captain Grangle, Captain Thunderbane to your left, and to your right, Horace, you're able to slip in unnoticed because you are invisible. There are two beautiful ornate fountains in this room, as well as two sconces of fire. Standing in front of you are... Okay, his name's
This one was
He
a
does
me.
look like Yoda. Yes, I get it. So Grimnock, the left seat, and the goblin representation of the LRC Council, standing in front of his chair. Thrain Iceforge, the dwarven representation, sitting in the right seat. And then Lady Airless sitting on the ice throne, who is the center seat. You also see standing up next to the stairs is the wizard, kind of looking down menacingly on you two.
Where's he at? Oh, there.
I would like to say that I am concentrating only on being convinced, like on a fake life that I have. So I want my surface thoughts to reflect that.
Okay. Interesting. Thrain stands up from his chair and he says, "You two are being charged with the murder of a Winter Court member, Red Eye, also known as Red Azir." You see Grimnock, the goblin, stands up very formally and says, "The evidence brought against you is the word of Captain Thunderbane and his platoon of the Grand Guard witnessing the event. We understand you were not the only perpetrators of this crime, but you will pay." Thrain speaks up. "The second charge brought before you is the murder of a dozen or more members of the Winter Court, a few goblins that were serving the Winter Court warehouse." The goblin speaks up. "The evidence brought against you for this charge is also the Grand Guard witnessing the aftermath in the Winter Court warehouse. What say you in your defense?"
Go ahead.
I have three things to mention here. Number one, I don't know who this guy is next to me. Not who I came in with. Suddenly seemed to have swapped bodies with my friend, and is now in chains here, and his sobbing is really kind of distracting at this point.
I am still just like,
I really think we should get him back to his family. He said he has a wife named maybe Sarah or something. He's just been saying it a lot.
I am hyperventilating.
Both of you give me deception checks, or performance checks, rather.
That's a 21.
Oh no. It's a natural one.
A natural one. Very interesting. Very interesting. You see Lady Airless is sitting on this ice throne. She's got a hand on her face. You can see her thinking. Her legs are crossed as she's listening to you, and she very suddenly braces herself on the throne and stands up. This beautiful blue gown falls to the floor, but this icy look in her eyes does not leave as she walks forward to the stairs, looks down upon you. Not just because she's a few feet above you on this little platform here, looks down on you. Takes a deep breath, starts to speak, but then pauses for a moment, and then turns around, and she says, looking at both Grimnock and Thrain, "My dear counselors, can't you see? Thunderbane here is just using these poor souls to cover up the fact that it was an order from the Autumn Court to murder those poor goblins. Traderberg, likely at the court's discretion, has done nothing but leech us of our resources, pretending to be our ally. Now they murder an envoy of the council and pretend we can't see right through their lies." And you see Lady Airless takes a step back and stares daggers at Thunderbane.
do I kind of cringe at that? Because they're now blaming the Autumn Court? I don't react, but I keep that in my brain. And I go back to just... I mean, like, I try not to break my concentration on, like, acting like this, but I think for a brief second I'm just like, wait, what?
Thunderbane, taken aback for a moment that the conversation has been turned to him, he says,
"Lies, all of this. It's heresy to speak ill of an ally. Wizard."
You see him turn to the wizard standing calmly at the top of the stairs.
You and Red Eye have some sort of connection. Surely you saw what happened at the top of the tower.
The wizard stands up a little straighter and he says,
Red Eye is not quite dead yet, Lady Airless. I can feel him ever so faintly. However, a conspiracy to betray him, his own allies, turned on him. I don't think the Autumn Court, Tradaberg specifically, Thunderbane specifically, is without guilt.
Thunderbane runs out, pointing fingers at Airless and the wizard, saying,
"You lie! I will stand in a zone of truth, here and now, to speak of what I saw."
Airless, as regal as ever, says, "That will not be needed. Your forked tongue can stay behind your teeth. Now, you two." And she turns to you, Jeatz, and you, Almyre. "What do you have to say? Is Thunderbane speaking the truth that you two murdered our subjects and the envoy of the Winter Court, Red Eye? Or is Thunderbane the one to be punished?" You see Thunderbane wordlessly looks back at you two.
I stay quiet and look like I'm someone who clearly got myself involved in something that I shouldn't have, and I'm trying not to piss anybody off, but I'm very shaken.
I'm not sure of what murders you speak of. I'm not saying that, Mr. Thunderbane here is at fault, but I'm certainly saying it was not us. I hesitate as if I'm almost about to say something else, and then I stop. And then, and of course, by us, I mean not this guy. Hence my natural one last time.
Well, it seems we might find ourselves at an impasse. Lady Airless steps back and says, "We are a council, so the council shall vote." Grimnock, how do you vote? You see Grimnock steps forward and takes a few steps across the stairs here.
Thunderbane has long been an ally of the Winter Court, serving us information from Tradaberg, but I would not be surprised if he suddenly turned tail. Perhaps the Summer Court is funding his activities now? It's hard to say.
He stares long and hard at you, Almyre.
You look like a summer Eladrin. What do you know?
Know about what?
Oh, the Summer Court perhaps funding Tradaberg activities,
Oh, I never paid attention enough to know about what funding went anywhere.
But you do know about the Summer Court.
He steps down the stairs.
You see not my dark skin and my light hair. It is obvious I am from the Summer Court.
Unlikely the Summer Court would want to murder the Winter Court. That would turn into a political nightmare. I vote Thunderbane guilty.
And Grimnock goes and sits on his seat. Lady Airless turns over to the dwarf.
Well, having limited information to work with.
He looks down at Thunderbane, over at you two.
I find it far more likely that Thunderbane has brought liars before us, but they were the ones indeed that perpetrated the crime.
I start to
I think that
whimper a
these
little bit
two are
more.
guilty.
I start to do like that, like stressed I'm about to die whimper.
My decision is final.
And Thrain goes to sit down on his seat. Lady Airless steps forward, glances over at the wizard, and says, "Based on my other two council members' votes, I have a hard decision to make. Captain Thunderbane, you've been known to dabble in conspiracy. You have betrayed us on more than one occasion by funding the Grand Guard. Your Lord Nox has been unfaithful at times. I find it more likely that you were the one that wanted to get rid of Red Eye, the one who oversaw your activities. I find you guilty." And Thunderbane, before he can even speak, Lady Airless freezes him solid. His judgment will be passed soon. You two, however, are free to go on one condition. Having spared your lives, you owe this council one thing and one thing only. And Lady Airless flicks a finger and the arcane shackles drop off of your wrists.
I think I finally pipe up and I go, yes, my lady, anything. Thank you so much.
You're not fooling anyone, Changeling. You're not fooling anyone. Red Eye has sought after you for a while, but we have other resources to mimic your abilities. But that's a conversation for another time. No, what I need from you, and she walks over to you and puts a hand on both your shoulders. There's a bit of a growing thorn in my side. An ice worm cult. Dirty beings that think that somehow, some way, an ice worm will wake up beneath this mountain and devour it. I need you to eliminate them. Then you may go free with the riches of the Winter Court.
Hey, riches.
What'd you say, Austin?
Did you say riches?
Oh, yes, riches. Treasures galore. And if you refuse, she looks over at Thunderbane. I might not be so merciful.
What kind of information do you have on them?
That's the issue, is that I have none.
Oh.
They attack our gods seemingly randomly. I know they operate out of the tunnels under the mountain. That's all I have.
While she's talking, can I do an insight check on the wizard?
Absolutely.
Oh, dice are the thing. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yep.
The wizard standing over there, it's kind of strange to you that he is even here in the first place. You see Grimnock and Thrain are pretty subdued. They're sitting back in their chairs just kind of watching this happen. But the wizard is very invested in what's happening in this moment. He should be just like an advisor to Lady Airless, but you can see he's kind of like on his toes at the moment. Like he's hyper invested in what's going on in this moment. He doesn't give you good vibes. He looks like an evil old man.
Does he give me Red Eye vibes?
Oh, no, that is an interesting question. That would be that's not something that you can suss out, although you're not wrong in that assumption, I'll say. He does have that vibe about him with the dirty talk.
Okay, because that vibe is. Knowing that, can I tell you what I had considered doing?
Okay.
I had considered, now that like her just being like, "Oh, you're a changeling, I don't give a shit," like turning into Red Eye and being like, "Yeah, I finally got my perfect body." But I'm not going to do that, obviously.
Interesting.
Yep. Yep.
Horace, what do you think?
Can
about Horace?
I?
Let's go through Horace's mind.
Well, right now,
He's there.
I kind of want to know where everybody's looking. And if everybody's distracted, I want to go and see if I can sneakily pick up the arcane shackles.
Oh, very interesting. So there are guards standing directly behind them, but the arcane shackles fell at the feet, like in front.
Like maybe if I'm like behind them and I kind of just like crouch down and kind of like get them out.
This is a high risk. A high risk.
Oh, he didn't whisper to me because I was gonna say I could fall on my knees, but never mind. That's metagaming.
I'm not saying no, Sean.
I want to try it.
But it's a high risk maneuver.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
Okay.
This seems like a bad idea.
Where are you going? Move your token. Move your token. Where are you standing? When you
Well, how close are the? Well, I guess where were they dropped? Like behind them?
They're gonna be
I
right
assume?
here. No, between Lady Airless, the two of them.
Yeah.
Because they would have been standing with the shackles in front of them. They would have dropped to the floor. It's like a chess move, Sean.
Can I like throw a pebble like over by the right or the fire the flame and like try to make a noise to distract people and then go up and grab it? I guess I'll go from like maybe like I'll go like this way, throw the stone over to the other one over here, and then I'll go for him.
I have to open up my book here. No. See, I thought I had. It's never good when Avery opens a book. Sure. Okay. So, Sean, what is it? What is it you'd like to do?
I don't like that you pulled up the book now. I'm going to kind of walk this way. And, you know, like toss a stone. Kind of maybe hit this.
At that sconce.
Yeah, the sconce. Trying to, you know, make some noise over there. And then I'm going to sneakily grab the arcane shackles.
Roll me an athletics check and a sleight of hand check. One for athletics is for throwing the stone. The other is for grabbing the shackles.
Alright, that is a... Alright, that is a... I guess I should roll that one roll first. The first one, athletics. Right?
Yeah, first one's...
Okay. I rolled a 17 athletics and a nat 20 sleight of hand.
Horace, you throw the stone, it hits the sconce for a brief moment. Lady Airless and also the wizard look over at the sconce as a spark flies out, and with your nat 20 sleight of hand check, you're able to slip one of the
One.
is the one that's in front of Jeatz into your cloak.
Okay, I'll put this in the bag of holding.
Lady Airless continues.
Can I do a perception check to see if I saw that?
I mean, with a nat 20 sleight of hand check, no,
Oh.
you wouldn't notice it.
That's true. That's true.
I will, after grabbing that, I'm gonna go back next to. Is Faerun in here with me?
High risk maneuver. You're fucking lucky. That I rolled poorly.
Would it Faerun be in here with me? Like standing in the back
No,
as.
Tharun was not allowed inside. You're only allowed inside because you're invisible.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, then I'll just go back to the room. I was gonna say I'll stand by him, breathing heavily.
So Lady Airless looks at the spark, like, you know, you passed it off as like one of the pieces of wood just like sparking suddenly. She turns back to you two and says, again, bring me information. Wipe out the cult entirely, or gods above forbid. The ice worm is real and is waking up. Kill it. If I'm not satisfied with what you bring back to me, you'll be put in service of the Winter Court. You'll be uncomfortable necessarily, but you won't leave this place. So consider what you're about to do as your utmost important task. Maybe the most important thing that you'll ever do in your life. Your items will be returned to you, and I will see that Thunderbane's his punishment is still dealt fairly. I'm sure you'd like to see that after he brought you poor souls in as bait to try and cover his own transgressions. Unfortunately.
Can I do an insight check on her to see if she absolutely knows that this isn't Thunderbane, that this is just her for her own
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
That's a 8 plus 4, 12.
Well, you're pretty sure.
Mhm.
You can't know for sure, but you're pretty sure that she's doing this to throw Thunderbane under the bus.
Would there be a way to
In-
tell
in
if the
league.
wizard is having any like influence over them?
Had you succeeded on your task, maybe
The members of the
would
court?
would have had more information for you, as the level 3s. But no. You can't tell
Okay.
the wizard's involvement at this point. So it turned out I did need the book. That's good for y'all. Okay, so with that, Lady Airless says, Grimnock, if you would please set them free, return the items to them, and advise the Grand Guard that they leave immediately before Thunderbane's transgressions plus his act against the Winter Court for trade. Grimnock says,
Yes, ma'am. You got it. All right, you heard him.
and Grimnock pulls out the bag of holding and throws it at you, Almyre. Well,
Ooh.
sorry, little gnome guy. I guess you got yourself caught up in all this mess. It's not my fault. Goodbye. And Grimnock and her guards march out of the Senate room. Safe travels. And the Airless walks up the stairs, followed by the wizard, followed by Thrain, followed by Grimnock, going into their quarters. And the Senate room is otherwise empty. But just before the last one leaves, you see Thunderbane zip out of existence, as if he's teleported somewhere. All right, and with that, we will take a little BRB, I think.
Ooh.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Ready.
All right. So let's have a little. Well, I don't know. We'll play it naturally. So, Jeatz and Almyre. Jeatz, remember, you're currently a gnome. You're led out of the Senate, and with your bag of holding, all your belongings returned back to you. Horace, you're still, I guess, in the Senate as Jeatz and Almyre walk past you. Do you leave first? Do you want to follow them or what?
I was gonna, as they were like standing there waiting for as other people at the court were leaving, the guards. I'll just whisper. Meet me at the tavern. What is it called?
The Stone's
The
Throw.
Stone Tavern. The Stone's Throw Inn. And then I'll dash out and grab Thayrun Bronte.
Not the teardrop.
Okay. Right. Not the teardrop. Stone's Throw Inn being the inn, the teardrop being the tower. But like you guys you would know neither of these things.
Yeah.
So you just hear a whisper in your Stone's Throw Inn. And Horace, you run out. Do you willingly drop your invisibility to grab Thayrun and Bronte with like urgency or what? I'm assuming. Like, what's your intention here? You don't want to be caught having a little reunion outside of the Senate? Or what?
Yeah, and I just want to be mysterious, being invisible and all.
Okay. You're playing up. I get it. So yeah, Jeatz and Almyre, you hear a little whisper in your ear, meet me at the Stone's Throw Inn, as you're walking out.
Also, I want to drop Pascal off on Jett's shoulder.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, Jeatz, you feel Pascal fall on your shoulder, and he immediately snuggles around your neck.
Am I like within guard visual, or am I?
I mean, you're still within the Senate. The guards are staring at you.
Can I like immediately be like, go camouflage? Like whisper very quickly for him to.
Yeah, Pascal gets the closest he's ever been to you, and you can feel the warmth.
I just get like a fat neck.
Yeah. Yeah. To others, it just looks like you've got like a back roll. What is that? Like,
yeah.
Like a ball. You have a. I don't know.
It's all the crying I've been doing. It's making me puffy.
Yeah.
It's a gnome trait. It's a very common gnome trait. You gotta.
I think I quickly get out of there because I don't want anybody looking too close to Pascal.
Yeah, you hear the guard say, "Fucking gnomes, trash compared to us dwarves and goblins." You can tell that the gnomes are not welcome here in the Winter Court.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. It's a bad idea. I don't think I change out of my form until I'm like safe in the inn.
Alright, that makes sense. So Horace, you grab Thayrun and Bronte, and they can sense your urgency. And they do like a brisk walk to the Stone's Throw Inn.
As the guards are still kind of there, I'll play it off, with the gnome next to me, and just be like, I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I do wish you well. Is there do you know your way home from here?
I think I'm just like kind of acting kind of weird, but I'm just like, the name's Thomas Nomington from the Nomington tribe in the Spring Court. It's wonderful to meet you. And I
Supreme
shake.
Court. Oh, you are a very long way from home.
I just appeared here.
Okay. Well, I'll stick with you for a bit here. That way, I'm also very far away from home, so maybe we can kind of find somewhere to.
I'm so cold. Can we
find out some more?
Can we find a place to stay for the night? It's so cold here.
I've heard some whispering about a place called the Stone's Throw. Maybe we'll be able to walk around and see if we can find it.
Okay. And then I follow Almyre.
I have no idea where I'm going.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you've wandered enough. You know that where you are is more like the production.
Yeah, don't want to go towards the mines. I want to go back towards that
administrative side of the Winter Court. So you would know that on the other side of the river is where you'd probably find something they call the Stones Throw. Like there's very clearly a residential area across from the barracks when you left. Okay, so a little bit of time passes, and Horace, you, Tharun, and Bronto get there first quickly. So we'll role play that. So as you walk in, shockingly, this is a normal-sized door. You don't have to duck into it or anything. And as you walk in, you see a homely little bearded dwarven maiden greet you, and she says, "Oh, hello. How may I help you? 3 tall folk all at once. It's quite rare that kind of thing happens. How may I be of assistance today?"
We like your largest room. If you have a penthouse that has a few suites in it.
Oh, a penthouse? Well, yes. The top floor. In fact, yes. I guess you could call it a penthouse. It sleeps 6. All included, room and board if you can afford it. It's 10 favor a night if you have that kind of spending money.
I will put 20. Yeah, I'll put 10 down for. Well, I guess I'll hold my hand out.
Oh, yes, of course. You feel her grab your hand to receive the favor. She says, "My name is Darthina Deepmantle. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Darthina,
her take a moment.
Steve had mentioned. Are you?
You see her making a connection. Oh, Steve. Wait, you know Steve. Oh, that means you must be Bronto. You see Darthina looks over at Bronto and he looks a little shy. Steve has said so many great things about you, Bronto. He said that you've been helping trying to find Muck. He's been gone for so long. I'm really hoping he raises ugly head, but we won't. Not that my son's ugly, of course, but he had trouble with the ladies.
That's not canon. Don't say that.
I'm sorry. I won't put my personal burdens on you with my missing son. Please ignore me. Yes, the room is up this way. The door will unlock for you, and of course, please make yourself at home, and I'll be up with a couple of brews. If you don't mind, my son, he needs some quite interesting beer. I'll bring up a sampler up there for you to try.
Oh, so did he make the Salisbury steak?
Oh, yes, of course. In fact, well, according to Steve, that's the most popular one. And Bronto, you must have been the one that was interacting with my husband to pick up the kegs that Muck had made. Oh, I can't believe I've never met you before. I haven't you shown your face. And Bronto, still looking sheepish, says, "Well, I'm sorry, Miss Deepmantle. I didn't feel it was necessarily appropriate. As it was a business transaction between me and Steve. I didn't want to bother you." "Oh, well, you could have come around. It's no matter. Ice under the bridge and all that.
please. Go upstairs. I'll bring you up a few brews to relax a little later.
Thank you. Two more are coming in soon that are part of our party. That you can send them up to the penthouse.
Are they tall folk like you? How should I recognize them?
One is a gnome with a lizard.
A gnome. You see her stifle a rude comment. A gnome. Of course.
Yes, I know. And the other is she's sassy. That's all I'll say.
I like sassy. Well, of course. I'll send them right up when they come in.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll cut over to Almyre and Thomas Nomelton. What are you all doing? What are you two doing?
Yep.
As you explore
Walking with Thomas Nomington in tow. We're going to cross the river. And, as we come across here, are we going to maybe encounter somebody walking around, maybe a guard or something that we could inquire about where the stone's throw might be?
Well, there's a lot of people walking around the Winter Court. Primarily goblins. They seem to be the main population here. You see a few Eladrin. They're dressed a little more finely, and then dwarves who are also dressed pretty finely. You don't see that many guards walking around, but we'll say that you see like a scruffy-looking goblin, a more finer dressed goblin. He looks like maybe he's a lord of some kind, some self-important guy. You see like a regularly dressed dwarf. He's walking around. He's got a pickaxe in his hand, maybe going to work, and then you see an Eladrin that's sitting on a bench nearby. Who appears to be, pontificating, thinking to themselves.
Oh, I will approach the Eladrin sitting.
Okay. You approach this Eladrin, and they're very clearly a winter Eladrin. And you see them stroking their chin. They have a very thin mustache on their upper lip. A single spectacle in their eye, a fur around their neck. Blue skin, and they, after thinking for a moment, looking up at the ceiling of the lichen, finally make eye contact with you, and they are taken aback at your presence.
Oh, I'm so sorry to disturb you. We're a little lost here. We were hoping to find the stone's throw inn. Do you have any idea which direction you can point us in?
The stone's throw inn. It's over in the hovel in the pole part of town. It's over there, and they kind of flick their wrist off in that direction.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it. We'll have a good day.
And they go back to their pontificating. So they point you off, in this direction, towards the hovel. And as you approach the city gate, the gate is closed, presumably for the evening. Not that you would know, what day or night was in here. It's just kind of always this like sunset, sunrise level of lighting. But as you do, you find a few goblin children are running around playing tag.
We find what?
A few
Children playing tag?
Yeah, goblin children playing tag. Yeah, just playing in the street.
All right.
Is that a problem?
Uh,
You don't have to interrupt.
Can I?
A weird thing to have pointed out in a D&D game. I like it.
It's a
Can I,
camp that's full of goblins and dwarves and shit.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah,
On those
roll an
kids?
insight check on kids playing tag.
Okay.
I just love that it's probably that Avery just wanted
17.
to get, more of a real feeling to the world, and we're just like,
17.
is that suspicious?
So with the 17, you see these kids playing tag, and like you're suddenly taken back, but you don't know why, and you start to question your own life experiences and if they've led you to any kind of bias, and you start to kind of second guess your own worldview.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The children,
I guess
they're out of earshot at this point. You see a little more kindly looking Eladrin walk by. They're dressed a little more normally. They've got like a knapsack on their back. They're just kind of like walking around. They appear to be maybe going to the Senate, just taking a walk around the bridge. Kind of oblivious to what's going on around them. And they walk by you, saying nothing. They kind of give you a look. You look a little weird. Cool. So what are y'all doing? 'Cause you've not moved.
Can I find like an empty alley to change back into my like Eladrin form?
Yeah. So as you head this way, I'll give you a few options. So there are these two large towers that they're presumably guard towers. I haven't called attention to them yet because it hasn't really mattered. But these guard towers, they're kind of set in stone. You can maybe find a crevice in there to change back into your regular self. But as you approach this bowl of stone, known as the hovel, you see several like doorways, stairwells down into the stone. There's maybe a hiding spot between some of the stone and wood built houses. So I guess give me, if you want to find a spot, name one of those spots, like a crevice, an alleyway, or between some of these houses, and I'll give you an appropriate DC. You just have to pick.
I would say a shadowy alleyway.
Okay. So give me a stealth check flat.
Okay. It's a 17.
A 17 will do it. So you're able to use your action to lickety-split transform back into an Eladrin without anyone noticing. You're just like walking through a shadow. One moment you're a gnome, another moment you're back into your. Are you back into your normal everyday Eladrin?
Yeah, my like Eladrin, which no one here has seen.
Right.
But I think that I don't think I match. I think I would have told I think I told Almyre I'm gonna go change and then follow from a distance. I'm not just gonna walk back up and be like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah, and Almyre knows your Eladrin form for sure. So Thomas Nomington is no more. Back to
No.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, now that you're in the hovel, you guys are looking around. Both of you go ahead and give me a perception check. Why not? As you look around.
Okay.
Perception, you say?
Oh, perception. That's a 6.
That's a 15.
Okay. You guys have ass perception. Jeatz, you're a little too concerned that someone saw you change. You just have your head on a swivel. Try to find if people are staring at you. But Almyre, you are looking around and you find a teardrop bar. Sounds kind of weird. You see what are mostly homes in this area. You see a shop or two, but your eyes are dead set on the Stones Through It, which is the large red building that you see right by the fountain.
Hey, this way. I think I found it. Pull Jeatz along.
I think I'm farther behind you. I'm not next to you, so I'm just following you.
Alrighty. So Almyre, you enter the Stones Through It, and you see this dwarf maiden. She walks up to you and she says, "Oh, my name's Dorothea Demental. How may I be of assistance? Looking for a room?
Hello.
Room and board? Maybe just a meal?"
Yes, we're hoping to meet a friend here. Have you seen a fairly tall human here by any chance?
You don't get many tall folk, but I was told that if we had others, it would be a different situation. One moment. And you see Dorothea runs upstairs very quickly. Horace, all of a sudden, Dorothea bursts into your room and says, we don't get many tall folk around here, so I just wanted to make sure before I send some random woman up here. There's a woman downstairs. She looks like a summer Eladrin. Is that okay? She kind of whispers to you. Is that one of the people you're looking for?
Yes, you could send her up.
Okay. It doesn't appear she's with anyone. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll send her right up. Dorothea runs downstairs to meet you, Almyre. Jeatz, have you entered the room at this point?
Yeah. I don't think I was like far behind. I just wasn't clearly walking with.
Dorothea runs downstairs, frantically, Almyre, and starts to say, "I'm so sorry." Sees you, Jeatz. I'll be back in a moment. Dorothea runs back upstairs and bursts into the room again. I'm so sorry, but there was summer Eladrin. You said it was okay. There was another Eladrin, maybe autumn, maybe spring. I'm sorry, I don't know my Eladrin when it comes to spring and autumn. Do you think they're traveling together? I don't want to send anyone up here. They're definitely a tall folk. I don't want to send anyone up here that doesn't need to be up here. You know, with this being the executive suite.
You know, you could send them up if they're not with us, and we'll apologize and send them back down.
Understood. Absolutely. Of course. You see Dorothea runs back downstairs. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. Please.
I think I changed shape since Dorothea went upstairs, and just to confuse. I'm kidding.
Dorothea runs back upstairs. The spring, autumn, Eladrin's not there. Okay, yeah. So Dorothea says,
"Tell him I'm gone now."
I just had to double, triple check, confirm your identities with the patrons of the executive suite. Please follow me upstairs. And Dorothea brings you upstairs. She opens the door, and up there, Jeatz, you are met face to face with Tharoon, who immediately recognizes you in your Eladrin form. He does a double take, and he's like, "What? No."
I think I
self-doubt.
I think I just immediately run to it. I'm like, it's so good to see you.
Oh, brother. Yes. Oh, he like picks you up and swings you around a little bit. Oh, how have you been? It feels like it's been an age since I've last seen you. How are you doing? He like feels you up. Oh, you feel strong and powerful.
It's so good to see you, brother. And I just give him a big hug, and I whisper to Pascal, like, say hi.
Pascal comes out of your cloak around your shoulder and peeks out. Who's this?
You know, I've been trying to figure out how we know Tharoon, but I'm beginning to think that I don't know Tharoon.
It's just one of those guys who's like friendly to you, you know, regardless of he's just always got a positive outlook on life. And Jeatz, I don't think that Tharoon that's right. They've met before, but Tharoon was initially cautious. That's right.
Yeah.
Tharoon greets Pascal, kind of like looks over at him and then bows very deeply. And he says, I'm so sorry that I ever doubted you. The forces of the Feywild can be mysterious, nefarious at times, and I'm deeply apologetic that I thought that you might ever bring harm to my friend. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
and you see Pascal stands up on his back 2 legs and does a deep bow on your shoulder back to Thrun.
Does Pascal look like proud? Like.
Oh yes, like yeah, like
Yeah.
he's nodding his head a little bit, like yeah, that's right. I'm a good guy.
I fucking told you, bitch.
Okay, we've got a little powwow going on. So Thrun says, "Well, there's so much has happened. I'm part of the Baron Cloaks now, thanks to the collapse of Equinox. Quite frankly, fuck McSquiggles, and I should never have gotten involved with him. But I found a new life. Jeatz, I don't know if you've been back to the God's Hand, but it's been compromised to say the least. I'm glad you made it out okay. But what are you doing here? And do you know?
Did we kill McSquiggles?
No, you did not.
Okay.
No, you left him with Nox.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I think I look at him and I go, "Oh, it's we know it's compromised." Fun fact. So yeah, we. Long story short, and I kind of fill him in on the whole General Nox thing and the fact that we like left him with McSquiggles, but like we're basically done with them, and we're kind of just waiting for
Lord Nox and left him alone with McSquiggles. Am I understanding?
Well,
right?
Yeah, well, I had to trade a life for a life, and I kind of point over to Horace, and I'm like, remember the mark I went to get? Well, that's him.
Oh my
Oh.
gods! You
So
actually brought him back alive, and he followed you here?
Yeah, I'm confused as well,
What?
but
What?
I don't know.
I'm your... Wait, I was your mark this whole time?
God's bow.
What is this?
I give Horace a look like, I swear to God, you're so full of shit.
After all I've done for you.
Yeah, and so I think I
then
fill
at
in
the
just
mention-
basically on
At the
everything.
mention of McSquiggles, Bronto pipes up and says, "Wait a second, McSquiggles, Equinox. Whoa, whoa. No, don't tell me. Horace, forgive me for this. I said I'd tell you the whole story, and I apologize for giving it to you in parts, but I put out a bounty to burn your house down to get you out of the Spring Court."
Well, that's just classic you, Bronto, and I'm gonna rush out. I want to rush at him.
No, it was for your own good. It was for your own good. I'll explain. I
I lost
promise.
everything I had, and I already had nothing.
Well, so you lost nothing. See, it's fine. It all shook out.
Okay, I had a home, okay, but I had more than this before, but... Just why?
I needed you out of the Spring Court. It's a long story, okay? It's a long story.
Better be a good one.
I kind of I do tell him about Ka and the fact that I found another changeling.
You found another changeling. Interesting. I thought that I'd convinced myself that you really only won.
I had two. I mean,
Based on legend, I thought that they had all fled the plane, but it seems that's not true. Maybe there's a deeper story there.
I don't. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. I could say that I'm happy, and hopefully,
If we make our way back to Frostfell, there are countless archives of verbal history. Perhaps we can consult one of those and maybe find something to the history of changelings with your knowledge and understanding that there is at least one other changeling here in Exurbia. Maybe we'll find something worthwhile.
Right. I think that would be great. And I think at this moment I remember my father and like what they were going on and just kind of have a moment of sadness because like they were dealing with a bunch of shit.
Okay, so you guys kind of reminisce for a while. Almyre, do you have anything to add, or are you just kind of sitting awkwardly in the corner as the bros
Yeah.
for a moment?
Yeah, what? I'm so confused. So we know this person?
I turn around and I go, oh, sorry, everyone. Let me introduce you to my best friend, Tharun.
Hello, I'm
Please.
Faroon. I went to the University of Spring course. I know, it's a party school, but I think I got a good education.
God damn it.
So yeah, Tharun goes on, he's been part of the... Shh. Watch. Stop it. He goes on to say that he's been part of Equinox for a long time. He's a wild magic sorcerer from the Autumn Court originally. Found his way to Equinox through, unsavory means, trying to make ends meet. But he was still a stand-up character, and they let him live and take the oath of the Baron Cloak and let him live in Frostfell without having to suffer the pain of death for being part of a mercenary group.
So, well, I think we all know that we need to get back to Frostfell, but I don't know if anyone's told you yet, Mr. Tharun, but the one condition of Jeatz and I not dying in there was to eliminate this thing called the Worm. It's like some sort of cult. We may need to tackle that first.
Pipes up, and he says, "Wait, so were you two the ones that were on trial? Horace didn't give up any information on what went on in there."
Yes, we were. Well, me and a gnome named Thomas Knowington, which no longer exists.
That was me. I was doing my best.
It was quite good. I think they believed it.
I mean, I wish I had some popcorn when I was there, because that was beautiful work there.
So, yes, there is an iceworm cult growing in the court. No doubt you've felt the rumbles, perhaps, of that cult's ideals manifesting themselves. But I'd like to leverage the iceworm cult to take down the wizard. But you're saying you've been tasked to destroy them?
Yes, I'm saying exactly that.
Well,
either way,
Bronto stands up, backs across the room, and he says, "Perhaps that makes us enemies."
No.
To destroy the cult.
I didn't say that yet. I have no idea who the cult is, what the cult is, or what an iceworm is.
I said that. I think we're all.
You've been freed by Lady Alice. You've been
I can vouch for these two, Bronto. And being there, they can only accept it or they die.
Right at every turn. Are you sure you can trust these two? These three, including Tharun. I don't know what his deal is.
Bronto, out of everyone that you've met in your life, I think you know that you can trust me the most.
Horace, I do trust you, and I owe you a lot. But we haven't spoken in 30 put your life down on the line. And he puts his dagger in his left hand and holds out a firm grip. If you put your life on the line, then you trust these two. I will go along with whatever plan you have.
I do. Well, grab his hand.
You grab his list and his forearm, and you can feel your life force intertwine with his. And he says, "Now that is what makes us brothers in the battle good. I'm along with you every step of the way, Horace."
Alright, Thomas, don't fuck me over.
I'll do my best.
Alright, so I guess we have two choices here. Maybe two choices, I don't know. One of them is obviously we go and kill the ice. We don't do that, but we can use the, we partner with the cult to gain sides with the worm. And then they can, I guess, help us topple the court. What was it? Did Bronto present as a second?
What
option?
What benefits would that gain us? Let's do a cost-benefit analysis here.
So your two options are Bronto's plan was to side with the cult to use the worm to destroy the Winter Court, putting a ton of lives on the line, but it would guarantee that the Winter Court could not march on. And I'm putting this in a nutshell, but that the Winter Court could not march on the rest of Exurbia to try and take over, exert their force or whatever. The other option is to destroy the Winter Court, satisfying Lady Airless's command to Jeatz and to Almyre, sparing their lives.
And gaining us favor.
I mean, could we do both?
Listen, I have no more. I do not have a plan beyond what you guys decide. I am presenting you with these two options, and whatever route, left, right, middle, doesn't matter, is your decision, and you can approach it as you please.
Jeatz, I'm not quite sure how we could do both, considering.
Well, if the ice worm emerges, it could be weakened by everything there, and then we could finish it off. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, and I look at Tarun and Bronto, it seems like we're just trying to use it, it's not special to anyone, we're just trying to use it as leverage.
Well, don't say that around the cultists.
Yeah, it's
Well,
to the cult.
Well, of course not. But we could play our part, and almost, realistically, we could delay our decision, play our part as if we're a part of it, and then if it looks like one decision is the worst one, we do the other thing, and either destroy from within or get it to where it's weakened and then destroy it after.
And maybe we could reason with it and try to have it cause a little less chaos than it might if we just anger it and have it go nuts on the Winter Court. I'm not sure how you can reason with a nice worm, but I'm sure you can try.
We could just leave.
Yeah, that's the third option I've been considering. So let's say we were to purchase.
If we just leave, then the Winter Court marches on everyone else.
Yes, but that might happen regardless.
Our actions here could maybe increase the odds of the other courts having a chance to fight back or be
we
stronger.
could get out of here now and begin warning the other courts that the Winter Court intends to march, and maybe we could, gain an audience with the Autumn Court. I know for sure we can get an audience with the Summer Court.
Ronto, you seem to have some more details on what's going on here, the Winter Court.
I do maybe have a more holistic view. The Winter Court is most certainly leaning in assault. I don't know when. I think it's soon. So my plan was to disrupt before that happened, but I guess it's possible to maybe convince the other courts to march against the Winter Court first, set up a line of defense at the border.
Let's go talk to the cult. The worst thing that happens is we just don't do it, right?
I mean, unless
Let's gather some information.
Okay. It's probably best.
Yes, I would like to find out more about this worm.
It is an interesting third choice that you guys have presented.
Just leaving.
Just leaving. Now that you're all together, you're out of captivity. I mean, you could just leave. That's fair. Pronto says, well, yeah, okay. You want to go talk to the cult. It's a little difficult to get there. You have two choices. Number one, you could slide your way down the river that separates the administrative from the activity side of the Winter Court, but it's quite a task to get to the Cold Slayer, is my understanding. Number two, you could kill a couple guards, take their uniforms, and wait until the cult attacks. They have been strategically taking out platoons of guards that are in maybe shady areas of the Winter Court. And you could maybe convince them to take you to their headquarters, but there's no guarantee that that'll work, and then you risk, becoming
Darun, would you know any passages maybe that could lead us under the city to the cult?
I know that there are secret passages, yes, but where they are, I do not know. It would probably take a local, perhaps, to guide you there.
I look over at Pascal, almost expectingly, like he has some kind of way to help us, but knowing he cannot. And I just pat him on the head.
Why not take a dive in the water?
I don't think that's a good idea. It's cold.
I got boots.
It's gonna kill you. You can make it through. And then once you make friends with the cultists, they'll show you the way, if that's your intention. If you show that you have the wherewithal to make it through the ice caverns, they might think that you're one with the cult. I don't know what phrase they use, but that feels like something that they'd use. One with the cult. If you find your way there on your own, if you have the conviction.
Alright, let's do it. Maybe we can find some... Are there any shops around here? Maybe we can find some scrolls that'll keep us warm.
There's not too many trading outposts, but there is a store nearby that I know sells tinctures and whatnot. So you might try there.
Okay.
It's called Spivel's Succulent
Yeah, Spivel's Succulents. That's a shop name.
Sounds sweet. Let's go.
Yes. Alright, so yeah, Bronto, leads you out. You see Darthena demantle, waves you all goodbye, and takes you over to the shop.
As we're walking, I go, Horace, by the way, it's a little unfortunate you couldn't have this before, but I pull out the sword and hand it to him from.
Oh my god!
I was literally thinking about that earlier. I almost forgot.
And I was like, I think this needs to go to you. By the way, oh no, I didn't see it. Never mind. I didn't see him grab the shackles, so I can't mention it. Never mind. But,
yeah.
And so I just hand it over to him and I'll be like, I'm sure this could have come in handy a little earlier, but I'm glad we can get it to you now.
Luckily, I haven't had to kill that many people to get here, but this would be nice to have in case. Thank you.
Alright, so Bronto leads you over to this shop, and before he goes inside, he says, Neil, Spivel is a bit of a character, so, just being you. So as you guys walk in, you see an Eladrin that's basically bent over 90 degrees. Bronto walks in and he says, Oi, Spivel, I've brought in a few new guests. They are friends of mine. He's talking very loudly. They are friends of mine, so I do know them. I can vouch for them. They'd like to see some of your wares, please. And you see Spivel basically bent over 90 degrees because his back is so fucked. A long gray beard that's trailing on the floor. Cane hobbled over that's supporting his top half. It says, newcomers, Bronto, what have you done bringing them here? I'm telling you, Spivel, they're here to buy things from you, to support your retirement. I don't need to retire. Fine, what are you here to buy? And are you all entering the shop?
Yeah.
How is this man not dead yet?
I'm 399 and I intend to make it to my 400th year.
I stab him. I'm just kidding.
You see that despite him looking decrepit, the rest of his shop is impeccably clean. There's a small section dedicated to what look like healing potions, a small section of potions that look like warmth potions. There's a few scrolls dotted here and there, a few trinkets. What are you guys looking for?
I don't even know if I actually have enough money to do anything.
Well, I will say, for your basic amenities, it's going to be 100 favor per potion of healing. 250 for the level above that.
I ain't that rich.
Well, I don't know who has the money.
I mean, I think we've all just been keeping track of our own.
Yeah,
Now I've got 34.
I have 100
feel like
something.
That feels wrong somehow.
That feels wrong.
I have 349.
Oh my god.
How do you have 300?
I haven't spent anything.
I don't think it's pretty much okay. Yeah, I have 100 some. 150.
Not buy anything off. I mean, maybe.
Smells the air a little bit. Like his eyes are completely shut. He's definitely blind. He smells the air.
You smell poor in favor, but I have stuff to get rid of. I'll give you a bit of a discount. 40 favor per potion of healing.
Mm.
I'll buy it.
100 favor per potion of cold resistance.
Actually, I won't buy anything. I think I'll be good. I've cold resistance boots.
100 favor for a first level spell scroll.
Do you have any tiny cold boots for our lizard friend here?
You see,
I look over.
drops his cane and just like bends over to the floor, like 180 degrees from his waist, and you can see he like looks at the bottom of a shelf.
Oh, yes, yes.
And he pulls up to 2 little thimbles.
These can be used as boots for little lizard. Yes.
They could be used as what?
Boots for a lizard.
Are they cold resistant?
Oh, boots for a lizard. I heard wizard this whole time, and I'm like, what am I?
Yes, yes. Boots for a lizard, cold resistant, yes.
How much?
Buy anything, and I'll give them to you for free.
Alright, I'll buy a potion of healing.
You've brought in terrible.
I am buying a potion of healing.
Pronto, I'm not breaking even here. I'm selling at a loss. You're killing.
I buy 5 potions of healing.
And then I'll give the boots to Pascal. Like this for scaring you maybe a little bit for thinking I will that you might be stuck.
You can feel like Pascal, Pascal reaches out telepathically, he's handing it to him, and he says, "I fucking deserve this."
I know
We're still
Pascal.
cool, but I won't forget it. Okay, sorry. Jeatz, how many potions of healing are you buying?
5. So 5 times 4, 200 worth.
5 times 40 is in fact 200.
Y'all.
That's all good for me.
Anything you want to trade? You got shit you want to get rid of?
Do we have things?
Maybe.
What's on?
We have erasers of defense, gloves of something.
I'm
Maybe
wearing that.
should we give away the gloves of something climbing? We haven't really been using it. What would you take for the these gloves? And I'll hand the
Magical gloves of swimming and climbing.
You see, he holds a hand out over them, and like you see these arcane symbols kind of flow between him and the gloves to identify what they are.
Magical indeed. Interesting. Perhaps I can part with this.
And he turns around and pulls out a potion of. I need to look up the various strengths of giant potions.
Superior?
It's a potion of water walking and climbing.
No, I just need to check. Okay. He pulls out this. He says,
I can trade you for a potion of frost giant strength. Changes your strength score to 23 for an hour.
Almyre? Jeatz, does that seem good to you?
Yeah.
Yep, no, sounds good to me.
Yes. I think that might be quite
All
useful
right.
for your horse, just at some point.
Sounds like a deal.
I'll have you know, I milked the frost giant myself to create.
Oh, I did not need to know that.
Well, now you do. You must
How long
also
did that take?
lived with the cursed knowledge in my head.
Anybody else have anything else they want to get?
I don't. I mean, I think the
Arcane
potions
shackles
are
to
good.
get me. Yeah, I'm good.
Pulls out the
Those
arcane shackles.
would get you something nice if you wanted. But they are far more useful as arcane
Yeah.
That's both the shopkeeper and Avery hoping to not have.
I want to go out and give it to a homeless person. Just some guy on the street.
There's some dude on the street.
I'm done.
Get out of my shop if you're not shopping. Bronto, I hope to never see your face around here again. I've lost money on these transactions.
He bought 5 potions. That's pretty good to me. So, we're buying bulk.
It's a loss!
You didn't
You
have to.
understand basic
That's all I'll
economics?
say. Well, you must be pretty bad at business if you just did it
You
anyways,
ever heard
knowing
of
it.
cost of goods sold?
Get me away from this old man.
Yeah, Bronto's like, I am so sorry. Usually he's in a better mood. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah. At least we got some
alright,
shit. And he gave us a discount, so I'm not too bad.
Alright, so Bronto, if you want to divvy up your potions, I don't know how you guys are handling potions. I don't know if you're doing it within character sheets or just within bag of holding, but...
Caleb, what do you want to do with your 5 potions?
I mean, they're in my inventory, but if you want to put them in the bag of holding just to say we did that, I'll hold on to them for now.
With like regular healing potions, like the lowest level, I'm fine with them just like teleporting between your pockets.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll add it to the bag.
Anything higher than that, I'd rather you divvy them up, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Bronto leads you all over to the bridge. And as he moves over the bridge, he says, I'm fine going with you. And then Varun pipes up and he says, I have no idea how long this little adventure of yours will take, and I have an obligation to the Baron, so I don't know whether I can commit to this task at hand. Vixen will be expecting me back to the boat sometime soon. It's been several hours, of course. But
What happens if you don't return?
I get executed. The Baron Cloak is
If they find you.
for deserters. You see Tharun pulls up a sleeve and there's an arcane symbol on his forearm. This is a scry spell. Should they need to employ it to find me, they will.
Is there any way to free you from this bond?
Destroy the Baron Cloak.
Well, I guess we'll be back for you.
The rune turns over to you, Jeatz, and says, I'm sorry, I wish I could join you on this quest, but it seems that fate has called me otherwise. Perhaps we'll meet again.
I give him like a big handshake, like I don't know, something rather brotherly, and I'm like
Like a predator?
yes.
Like a...
Yeah, the predator handshake is definitely kind of what I was thinking.
He gives you a predator handshake, gives you like a big hug, several pats on the back. And
Yeah.
as he moves away from you, he says, your magic and mine are not so dissimilar. I've been holding on to a realm from
think in my current stage of life I'll never use it. And he takes off a necklace, which is like kind of hidden by the robes he was wearing, and puts it on you. And he says, "The wild has mysterious ways. If you ever find yourself in a precarious situation due to Exurbia's force exerted upon us, maybe you'll find yourself in a better spot. Be warned.
I sure hope so.
Be used once." And as he puts this necklace around your neck, he's given you the wild magic transmutation necklace, where when you roll on the wild magic table once and only once, you can select the wild magic effect above or below whatever you roll.
Oh, wild. Okay.
So not like on a long rest, you get it back? Just like
Only
one and you done?
once. Yeah,
Ooh.
one and done.
Interesting. I like that.
I also like that.
Not as good as my necklace. I put my hand in my chest. The demons speak.
Here. Use me. Sorry, I didn't have my voice mod ready, but okay. Tharun backs away from you, and he says,
I give him one of those bows.
He bows back and bows once more, looking at Pascal on her shoulder, and says, "It seems that fate has brought us together once more, and fate tears us apart. I hope that maybe we'll meet one day under better circumstances."
As do I.
See Tharun trots off.
Everybody ready for a dip?
So Bronto, standing on the bridge, says, "All right. Now, all I know is we take a plunge, and all we have to do is navigate the rivers carved into the mountain, and it'll spit us back out where the cult of the Iceworm is. Yeah, that sounds about right."
Should we take a boat? Is there a little boat maybe we could take?
Oh no,
Maybe
no.
I-
See, you see, right down there, it kind of turns into a waterfall, and then it's like a slip and slide, but it goes a million different ways.
Should we?
I'm ready. How about you?
I'm going to stand up on the ledge and then get in my diving position.
Bronto mirrors it as if it's a pedal guard mission. All right, well, it's just like we practiced 30 years ago.
Ready.
When we were on the form diving team. He
On
squats,
go.
it's-
3, 2, 1, go.
And with a beautiful dive, you jump into the river, and that is where we will end our session.
Yeah.
Can we roll for form?
Incredible. Well, at the start of the next session, yeah, we're rolling for form. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Join us next week.